Nithyanandam. I'll be talking to you now about something very unique. The first time I came across this was when Swamiji initiated some of his ashramites, and later in an IA program as well, the rise of the Kundalini energy. Now, what happened at this time was I could see a number of participants and ashramites who could actually levitate in a cross-legged position or sitting in a Vajrasana. Now, as you are aware, man is a two-legged animal, and our biomechanics does not allow us to jump from a seated position like in a Padmasana or in a Sukhasana. The biomechanics do not work at this level at all. So it's very difficult to jump when you're in that position without taking help of the floor and using your hands. What I saw was that a number of participants would jump up and down, and some would move forward as well, literally cutting across the hall with very little effort on their part, and they seem to be smiling and not being tired at all. I had an opportunity to see this being done continuously for about 20 minutes, and what I witnessed was even at the end of 20 minutes of moving around in that position, none of the participants were actually tired. So we decided to study this as to what is actually happening during this energization process, especially with regard to the brain. We had access to a very advanced QEEG machine, which basically studies the brainwave pattern and essentially is used for diagnosing mental illnesses, and you could also study the brainwave during meditation, etc. As such, no real study has been done of brainwaves during Kundalini awakening. What we found was very unique. Normally, a human being has 4 brainwave patterns. When you're sleeping, you have what is called a delta wave, and then as soon as you get up, it's like an engine of your motor being in an idling state. As soon as you get up and you open your eyes, you have what is called the alpha rhythm. The minute you start thinking about something, you have something called the beta rhythm or beta waves, and then when you are in activity, you have gamma rhythm. Now, during normal sitting, all the participants actually had all the waveforms in different parts of the brain at the same time. Basically, this is what happens to a normal human being. There is activity in some areas, there is sleepiness in some areas, and there is wakefulness in some other areas, and so on. And all that can be captured by the QEEG machine. The minute Swamiji actually initiated them and raised the Kundalini energy, what you found was a remarkable increase. See, the waves are fixed in terms of their names because of the frequency with which they happen, that is the cycles per second. The other aspect of a same wave is the amplitude of the wave or the strength of the signal that's going through the brain. The amplitude is very small in micro millivolts in a normal state, and what we found is that as soon as the Kundalini is awakened, the amplitude of all the waves shot up tremendously, to the extent that the graphical representation on the QEEG, which is like a circle and usually is blue in areas of activity, turned first red, and then it went into white, which is a spectrum way beyond the measuring capacity of the instrument itself. So all the participants who had Kundalini awakening demonstrated this white pattern of complete synchronicity in the brain, and all the waves being similar and of very high amplitude. Now, this was interesting by itself, but of course at that time I did not levitate. What happened later is that I participated in the IA program which is currently going on, and on day 2 I suddenly felt light when I was being given the energy darshan, and the lightness translated physically from my sitting in a Vajrasana to actually leaping up on the mat and coming down. So this was a amazing phenomenon, because I realized what was happening in my body. A, I was feeling very light. B, I have bad knees, and I could never even imagine taking a leap from my knee. So that worked very well without any effort on my part. And third, even when my entire body was contorted in a backward direction, all the muscles of my back were activated, and they could support the angulation in which I was actually levitating. So obviously this is a very real and physical phenomena, which I have now myself personally experienced, which hitherto was just a subject of my research projects. It's amazing. It makes you feel very, very light.